When I tell you, you have to make sure that you take time for you to go within your own inner realm. You have to take time for yourself to be able to dive deep within yourself. You see, a lot of people have no awareness of who they really are because they never take no time with themselves. There's so many people out here that's just allowing themselves to be distracted by other people. Not realizing that by you always being distracted by other people, you never have time to even figure out who you are. And because you don't know who you are, you don't know who your friends are. You see, I made a TikTok about this and I said the reason why you don't know who your real friends are is because you don't know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, how are you going to know that the people that you want around you? If you're always changing up your personality, if you're always changing up who you are around different people, if you're always, because today is a 9-day, so it's about adapting. If you're always changing up who you are, you always people pleasing, you're never going to really know who's really for you. And the reason why I say this is because you have to learn how to be yourself authentically, unapologetically. That's really what I want to talk about today. That's really what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about how to be yourself unapologetically, because I feel like before you can ever tap into your greatness, you have to first be able to be yourself wholeheartedly, even if people don't agree with it. Even if people don't agree with it, you got to know how to be able to be yourself wholeheartedly, even if people don't like it. Because the truth be told is that is there a crystal to help with commitment or focus on self? I recommend fluorite or tiger's eye. Now, the thing about it is that if you don't, I'm trying to find a marker, which marker I'm right with. All right, cool. If you don't find out who you are, you're not going to know your powers. You're not going to know your gifts. You're not going to know who you are. And even in the movie Matrix, I want everybody to say this right now. Everybody comment, know thyself. Everybody comment right now, know thyself. That's the most powerful tool you can have within your life, to know thyself. Because if you don't know who you are, you can easily be pulled left, right. You can easily be used left, right. If you don't know see, let me tell y'all something, right? If you don't know who you are, people are going to be able to see your gifts and use them for themselves. This is why it's important that to find out who you are, you have to spend time with yourself. Everybody comment, know thyself. Write it down. Write it in your notes, because that's the first law there is. That is the first law there is, to know thyself, okay? So, how do I know myself, Sticks? You have to go into isolation. You have to go into isolation. And the reason why I say you have to go into isolation, because let me tell you something. And I spoke about this on the mystery school yesterday. Boredom. Boredom. You see, a lot of people think boredom is such a negative trait, or it's a negative thing that happens. You don't like boredom. But little did you know, only through boredom can you actually hear your own voice. Only through boredom can you actually get divinely guided ideas. You see, because you are honestly always distracted. That's why when you go into meditation, you're just there in stillness. Because stillness, boredom, quietness, isolation, silence, these are the things that give space for the answer to come in. So when you spend time by yourself and you're just hanging out with yourself, what happens is that you start to discover things. But you only discover things when you're bored enough to look. Ooh! Did y'all catch that? That's the first download of the day. That's the first download of the day. I gotta write this down. I be having to write down my little, thoughts. I gotta write down my little thoughts because, hold on. Only through boredom do you actually get the space to discover something new, right? I gotta write that down. I'm writing notes for myself. That's crazy. Only through boredom will you discover? Because think about it, when you find new music, you was bored scrolling around. You know, you only discover things when you are bored enough to look. I gotta write it just like that. You only discover things when you are bored enough to look. I like that. I like that. And the reason why I say this is because I've noticed, because boredom gives you the space to discover something new. Somebody say you need a recorder. That's why all of this stuff is recorded. That's why all of this stuff is recorded. You feel me? And the thing about it is, boredom is so important, or stillness, or whatever you want to call it. Boredom, stillness is so important because I don't know for y'all, but when I meditate, because I'm in such stillness, that's when all my ideas come to me. Because I am understimulated, my mind is doing the work to stimulate. Does that make sense? Because because my body is understimulated, my mind will start to work on its own and develop a type of stimulation. And that stimulation tends to be downloads. That stimulation, and the reason why is because when you finally stop distracting yourself, what you do is, in that stillness, you shut off that conscious part of the brain. That conscious part of the brain, you're no longer consciously thinking. You're like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and be still. So what happens is that your subconscious mind starts to expand. Your subconscious mind starts to put in more work. Your subconscious mind starts to come to the forefront. And what happens is that because you're no longer distracted by your conscious mind and by your conscious observations, oh, I'm looking at the sky. Oh, I'm looking at this. Oh, I'm distracted. Oh, I'm this. Your subconscious mind is able to bring to you the forefront of the discoveries. Because the thing about it is that when you go through day-to-day life, right? Let's say that this is your subconscious mind, right? Let's say this is your subconscious mind, right? And let's say this is your conscious mind, okay? Let's say this is your conscious mind. So when you go through your day-to-day life, again, y'all, if you have not yet joined my mystery school, the link is in my bio. Click mystery school. Last night we did a live class and it was amazing, okay? So if you enjoyed these teaching, click the link in my bio and click mystery school and join, all right? So when you go through your day-to-day life, stay with me now. When you go through your day-to-day life, you're observing things through your conscious mind. You're observing, you're taking in things. You're like, oh, I see that. Oh, I see that. Oh, I see that. Now what happens is that information actually gets stored to your subconscious part of the mind. And what happens is that when you are going about your life, your subconscious mind is constantly making connections, even if you're not aware of it. That's why it's called the subconscious mind. So even when your mind isn't aware of it, even when you are consciously not aware of it, your subconscious mind is always making connections. Oh, I saw this. I'm downloading this. Download. Your mind is always downloading and picking up on things, right? So what you got to understand is that through meditation, all of the observations and the connections that your subconscious mind have made, it's bringing it to the forefront. And that's why when you're meditating or when you're in stillness or when you're by yourself, you're like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? Oh my God, everything starts to connect. Everything starts to make sense. Everything starts to, align with each other, because what happens is all those puzzle pieces that you grabbed when you were out and about during your day, your subconscious mind is like, okay, this makes sense. This connects with this. This connects with this. This is why in the book Mastery, even Nicki Minaj says that her best ideas comes when she's outside of the studio. You want to know why? Because she's no longer consciously trying to find the answers. What happens is her subconscious mind subconsciously puts them together. What's the best way to meditate? In silence or through guidance? That all depends on you. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. Well, obviously there's going to be a wrong way, wrong way meditating is being on the phone, But meditation is like searching the internet. This is why I always say your mind is a computer. You have to understand that technology was literally made as a replica and was inspired by the human. AI is inspired by the human. So when you look at your computer and your computer has a motherboard, your computer has memory, your computer gets downloads. These are all terms that your mind also has a connection to. So the thing about it is that you need to understand the same way you can understand the back of your phone, the ins and outs of your phone. You understand how to crack your phone. You understand how to jailbreak your phone. You know how to do all these things with your phone. You need to understand how to do these things with your mind, because your mind is also technology. You see, in African traditions, we actually believe, you know what I'm saying, that your mind is a computer, because your mind is able to make connections, right? Again, and I'm going to keep saying this, period. I'm going to keep saying this. If you have not yet joined the Mystery School, click the link in the bio. A coupon code that you can use for today is B28. B28. All right, 1230, 1, 2, 3. You feel me? B28. The link is in my bio, right? Because I've been teaching about deep esoteric teachings, and I feel like, especially if you are melanated, you got to know your power. You got to know where you come from. You got to know your synchronicities. You got to know your ancestors. You got to know the deep wealth, the deep bloodline that you have within you, because a lot of us don't even realize we have so much energy that we can tap into, but because we have been forced to forget, because we've been forced to forget, you see, you're not learning anything new. You're not learning anything new. You're remembering what you've always knew. You're not remembering. I mean, you're not learning anything new. I got to write that down, baby. Hold on. You're not learning anything new. You are remembering what you always knew. Man, this be poetry. This is poetry. Hold on. You always knew. Somebody gotta write that down. Because if you ain't gonna write it, baby, I gotta write it. You feel me? Y'all better write that shit down. Okay? And if y'all tweet that shit, yeah, y'all better give some credit. Okay? If y'all tweet that shit, y'all better give me some credit. You're not learning anything new. You are remembering what you always knew. You know, we ain't got flip phones no more, so I gotta do it with my notes. You feel me? So, I dare you to spend a whole day just with yourself. I dare you to spend a whole day with just yourself. I love y'all too, man. I love y'all too. I dare you to spend a whole day with just yourself and watch. Let me tell you something. My best song, I know some of y'all know my song, Remind Yourself. Can you remind yourself your why? Okay, so listen. Remind Yourself, that song came about, one of my biggest songs, right? Over 100,000 streams. That song came about when I was so bored in the house. I mean, think about it. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Think about it. When we was in isolation because of what was going on a couple years ago, this is when people learned the most. Why is it? Because isolation, think about it, it's hermit mode. It's hermit mode. Hermit mode is when you are going internally. You see, the reason why I tell you to spend time by yourself is because you've been spending so much time externally that you haven't had the time to spend internally. And if you don't like your physical reality, then you definitely need to go inside your inner reality and change a few things up. Change a few things up. Remember, y'all, I told y'all this year is 2023. 2023 adds up to 7. 2 plus 2 plus 3 adds up to 7. 7 is the number of the loner. The number of the loner. 7 is the number of spirituality. Why are life path 7s always spending time by themselves? Because to do spiritual work is to have solitude. To do spiritual work is to have solitude. Ain't that crazy? Right? Now, the funny thing about this is the people who are afraid to be by themselves, the truth is that they're just afraid of themselves. You want to know why people are afraid to be by themselves? Everybody say why. Say why, Stick. Say why. Let me tell you why people are afraid to be by themselves. Everybody say why. Comment why. And I'm going to need y'all to run up these likes on this TikTok, okay? I'm going to need y'all to run up these likes. Let me add a live goal. No, I wanted to change that. No, I want to change that. I want to put it to a cat paw. If y'all know what I'm talking about, I want to put it to a cat paw. Where's the cat paw? Boom. All right. Let me tell you why. People are so afraid to be by themselves because when they're by themselves, they're faced with the reality of their inner voice. People don't like to be by themselves because they don't like to hear the thoughts that they have. So what they do is instead of facing the thoughts that they have, they will go interrupt somebody else's peace. They will go interrupt somebody else's peace and go spend time with them so they don't have to face their own thoughts. How do I know this? Because I was that person. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I don't speak out of oh, I don't know, or I speak out of experience. I don't speak on things that I just read. If I'm studying something, I don't teach about it until I've experienced it myself, until I've practiced it. And when I found myself having the worst thoughts possible, I always needed to get on the phone with somebody. I always needed to hang out with somebody. I always needed to be around somebody because I'm trying to distract myself from my inner world. But the most dangerous thing that you can do is to run away from your inner world. The most dangerous thing you can do is to run away from your inner world. Because when you run away from your inner world, you're running away from yourself. Why are you running? 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 I know why you're running. You are running because you don't want to face it. But the thing about it is that the moment that you face it, you'll realize that all of those negative thoughts that you had were actually illusions. But because you kept running from them, you gave power to the negative voices. And you know what happens? When you run, they chase. You got to start running towards the things that you're scared of or that you don't like. I need to face my emotions instead of drowning them. Yes, and here's another thing too. Sometimes when it comes to emotions, y'all have to work out. Especially if you're a Pisces or a Scorpio. If you're a Pisces or a Scorpio, you need to work out. If you're born in February, if you're born in November, you need to work out. You have to. You have to. Let me tell you why. Y'all gonna be like, oh my God, why is that? Y'all be saying Pisces and Scorpios are so intense, right? Right? Let me tell you why. So, the month of Pisces is usually in February, right? That's the number 2. When you look at the number 2, it looks like an 11. This is just a little bit of numerology, right? If you look at the number 2, it looks like an 11, right? November is 11, right? People who are 11 life paths are very emotional. If you look at the people who have done the mass shootings, most of those people were 11 life paths. And the reason why is because when people can't control their emotions, they do things that are very intense. Right? But let me teach you something about emotions. Emotions can be controlled through exercise. Emotions can be controlled through exercise. So if you've been having headaches, if you've been having stomach problems, you need to work out. You need to work out. If you've been having headaches, if you've been having stomach problems, you need to work out. If you're very emotional, you need to work out. Some of y'all have never heard this before. Some of y'all have never heard this before. Your emotions will be so much more balanced when you work out, because you want to know why? You need a form of release. You need a form of release. Again, y'all, if you have not yet, click the link in my bio and join my mystery school, period. The link is in my bio. Click mystery school. My mystery school is a place where I teach occult wisdom. You see, when I get on social media, I teach all the basics. Because unfortunately, these social medias are very, they're very cautious with what they allow people to share. They censor things, okay? So if you're trying to get more into deep occult knowledge, deep wisdom, more magic with a K, if this is what you're looking for, the link is in the bio. Click Mystery School. You can use the coupon code B28, all right? I do live classes on there twice a month. Yesterday was a live class, all right? I did a live class yesterday, okay? So why do Pisces feel a lot? 2 is very emotional. They're the second sign. Pisces are in February. That's the second month. 2 is emotional. 2 is emotional, okay? All right, so another thing that I want to talk to y'all about is your self-image. Your residual self-image. How you view yourself is so important. You see, y'all always want to complain that people are not respecting you. Y'all always want to complain people are not respecting you, people don't see you like this. But the truth of the matter is, you keep trying to break the mirror when you need to be looking at what's looking in the mirror. You're trying to change the mirror instead of realizing that you have to change the person that's looking in the mirror. You want people to view your reflection as this almighty thing, but you don't even believe yourself to be this almighty thing. Remember, in to out, internal to external. Okay? If you don't like what's on the outside, you have to change what's on the inside. Period. Period. And I want to talk about facing fears. You see, how many of y'all been scared of something lately? How many of y'all have been having fears come up on the back of your mind? How many of y'all been having fears? If you have been feeling yourself being more fearful lately, everybody on Instagram and TikTok, I need y'all to share this live with 3 people. If you've been having, and comment done after you share this live with 3 people. If you've been dealing with fears, if you've been dealing with doubts, you have to understand the enemy gets the most desperate when you are closest to the finish line. And you know who's the enemy? You. Only you know your weakness. Only you know what thoughts really get you there. You see, we blame all of this stuff on something outside of us. Not realizing that if you keep blaming things on what's outside of you, you will never get to the root of the truth. If you keep blaming, oh, it's because of this guy's doing this, it's because of this person's doing this, because of this person. If you keep blaming everything outside of yourself, you're never going to be able to actually solve the issue. That's just facts, man. That's just facts. So before you want to blame somebody else for your negative thoughts, ask yourself, where's this thought stemming from? Some thoughts are from outside people. Some thoughts are from outside people, but that's still an internal thing, because why in the world are you with those people? Why are you with those people? You see, everything is us pushed out. Where you are right now is based off of your old thoughts, your old beliefs, your old habits. You know what I mean? Is that from being an empath? It could be. I mean, whether you're an empath or not, that's just human nature. We're naturally going to pick up on other people's thoughts. But if you aren't strong enough within your mental realm, you're not going to be able to have discernment of whose thoughts are theirs and whose thoughts are yours. Because me, I know myself so well because I work on my mind so well. I know what thoughts are mine and what thoughts are somebody else, because I'll have these negative thoughts. I'm like, this don't sound like me. But you see, the moment that you're able to become aware of this don't sound like me, that's when you start to really tap into your power, because you're now able to discern what's your voice and what's not. What's your voice and what's not. Period. To us is they try to make it seem. Yeah, I'm just playing one of my teachings. Yeah, so man, when here's a big thing I've been really working on with myself. I've been working on showing up as the version of me that I know that I am without feeling bad. You see, a lot of y'all are superstars. And I'm not just saying this like a baby. I'm not the teacher that gives out participation trophies. But a lot of y'all are superstars. But the only reason why you don't know that is because everybody has tried to make you humble when you were trying to pop your shit. Everybody want to humble you. Everybody want to humble you. Do you know the definition of humble? Let's look at the definition of humble. Let's look at the definition of humble. You see, you being so humble that you haven't even been able to see your true power because you've been so humble. Right? Humble means to be low in rank, quality, unpretentious, or lowly. To have a lower condition or status. To be humble is to have a low status. To be submissive. So think about it. Everybody wants to humble you, right? And to be humble is to be in low rank and to be to give submissive respect. So whoever is trying to humble you wants you to be submissive to them. I'm just giving you the definition. You can't tell me that I'm making shit. I'm giving you the definition. And I'll give y'all an example. I'll tell y'all me, right? And I'll just give y'all an example, right? So I have very nice things. I have very nice luxury items. But sometimes I don't want to wear my luxury items because I'm thinking about other people's insecurities. Because I'm thinking about how people will judge me for showing up big. You worried about people thinking that you're doing too much, but I would rather do too much than to do too little. So it's like sometimes I get scared of wearing my diamond watch because I'm thinking other people gonna sit here and hate on me because I'm showing up big. But what was the point of you showing up as a superstar if you just gonna sit here and make yourself little every time somebody pop up? You feel me? So my thing is, you telling yourself, all right, bet I'm finna show up as a superstar. I'm finna show up as my biggest self. I'm finna show up as who I am. But then when it's time to shine, you get scared. And it's not that you get scared because of your own ability. You get scared because of other people's judgments. But a lot of times you're afraid of people's judgments. Like for example, you go into the store and you don't want to window shop because you afraid of what the guy gonna say because you window shopping. You worried about an employee? You worried you going in there to actually think about something to buy, but you worried about what the employee thinking. Bruh is an employee. And you worried about what he thinking. So I'm telling y'all this so y'all can stop being afraid to show up as your biggest self. You look up to all the superstars, and sometimes y'all don't realize that it takes a lot of self-love. It takes a lot of self-love, because what happens is that you eventually get judged by people so much that you just be like, I can't please y'all either way. Once you start to realize I cannot please everybody. And the moment that you realize I can't please everybody, you start to realize the only person I can please is me. Would you rather be at war with yourself and at peace with the world? Or would you rather be at peace with yourself and at war with the world? I would rather be at peace with myself. Because the truth be told is that first they laugh, then they copy anyway. First they laugh, then they copy anyway. So you worried about what people thinking, not even realizing that these people was going to end up being your biggest fan regardless, because you're willing to do what they can't. You worried about what people in the audience are saying, but the people in the audience don't have the balls to show up on stage. You worried about the people that paid for a ticket when you're the act. You got to remind yourself. You got to remind yourself. Because you got to remember, a lot of these people not even real souls. Like, a lot of these people is lost. If you look at these people's lives, you're going to be like, I don't want to listen to you anyway. I don't want to do what you're telling me to do anyway. Because and here's the thing. I always look at people and I say, listen, bruh. If you giving me advice about something that you haven't even achieved yourself, baby, I don't want to hear it. Because your advice ain't take you nowhere, so why am I taking it? You know, the only advice that I want to hear from people who are not where I want to be is what you did wrong. That's the only. I don't want you to tell me what I need to do. I want you to tell me I want you to tell me what you did wrong. Don't tell me what I need to do. Tell me what you did wrong so I know not to do that. You feel me? Like, I just realized that it's important to show up as that version. Let me read to y'all something. Kobe Bryant's trainer said this. I'm going to read this to y'all. Kobe Bryant's trainer said this. In order for you to have what you really want, you must first be who you really are. I got to tweet that. Boy, I got to tweet that. Boy, I got to tweet that. In order for you to have what you really want, you first have to show up as who you really are. You see me, I like weird people. Not the kind of weird that's like negative weird. I'm talking about, I like the kind of weird where they don't care to be themselves. You can't be afraid to show up as your weirdest self. You want to know why? Because if you holding back your weirdness, right, to make friends, then when you start to get closer to them people, you're going to realize that those people lack a percentage of what you're looking for, which is the authenticity. You out here trying to fit in with the muggles, with the normies, when you're a whole superhero. You wondering why you don't fit in with everybody, baby, because you Harry Potter. You wondering why you not fitting in with the muggles and the regular peoples, because, baby, you're Harry Potter. You're Harry Potter. Dude, don't y'all realize that the most special kids always tend to get picked on when they're kids? And that's because when they're kids, they're showing up as their most authentic self. They haven't been taught to be anybody else yet. Whoa. Whoa. The reason why the most special kids get picked on when they're young is because they're showing up as their most authentic self. They haven't been taught to act like anybody else yet. Think about it. Kanye West said he was picked on as a kid. All of these people who show supreme talent were picked on as kids. Sometimes they were picked on growing up. And it's because they live outside of what we deem as normal. They live outside of what we deem as regular. And they're the ones that are willing to live outside of the box. So that's why when they do things, their results are outside of the box, because they dare to dream bigger when everybody else dared to dream safe. Period. You have to show up as your authentic self. You have to show up as your authentic self, because that one little thing that may make you a little weird, that one little thing that makes you a little weird. You know, people say Kanye. I think Kanye is a great example. Forget what he's doing right now. Just think about the art, okay? Kanye was wearing polos, pink polos, while the whole music industry was about being a thug. Think about it. How do you expect to set a trend if you're on the trend? How do you expect to be a trailblazer if you're doing what everybody else says, or you're not showing originality? The music that we be liking the best, the music that goes platinum, the music that becomes classics, is the music that is different. Let's look at XXXTentacion. XXXTentacion is the reason why I even make music right now. If we look at XXXTentacion, XXXTentacion was mixing rap and rock together. Ain't nobody was doing that. And people clowned him in the beginning. First they laughed, then they copied. Next thing you know, everybody was, yeah, ay. Now everybody is, ay. Now everybody was making the emo music. But you know why the people who are willing to be trailblazers end up with such a big reward? It's because they were willing to go through the flames of criticism to express their authentic self. But now my question to you, and I'm getting chills saying this, are you willing to go through the criticism of being your authentic self? X is a 33 life path. Of course, I only get inspired by like 33s. And 33s really know how to inspire me. Right? I'm speechless. I feel I've never been addressed like that since a long time. Thank you. Anytime. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you think in a different way, a different perspective. Because let me tell y'all something. Your physical reality can change if you just change your perception or your perspective. Because check this out. If me and you are looking at the same cloud and you see a frog and I see a dog, and I say, you see a frog, but all of us say, I say, don't you see a frog in that cloud? You're gonna say, it does look like a frog. I say, don't it look like a dog? You're gonna say, it does look like a dog. All of a sudden, I just changed your whole perspective off of just sharing my perspective. Right? Again, especially if you are a 7 life path, if you're someone looking to go deep into the esoteric knowledge, you want to learn about the secrets of the universe, you want to learn about the magic that you hold, the magic of your mind, the truth about manifestation, the truth about alchemy, the truth about spirituality and where we come from, our history, click the link in my bio and click Mystery School. Let me tell y'all something. If you think that these teachings right here are giving you a lot, these are free. These are free. Imagine what you get when you pay. Because remember, what you pay for, you actually pay attention. What you pay for, you actually pay attention. And you have to understand that money is a frequency. So when you invest, when you buy stuff for yourself for a purpose of growth, that growth, think about it like water. Every time you water that plant, what happens to it? It grows so it can bear more fruit. Y'all have to stop thinking that when you spend money, that is just going away. That's not a such thing. When you hold on to money, that's when it goes away. Okay? So learn how to allow your money to work for you by planting seeds and investing it into places that will make you feel better. All right? The link is in my bio. Click Mystery School. My question is, how many of y'all are looking to go deeper into spiritual wisdom? How many of y'all are looking to go deeper into your spiritual reality? Because the first story that I talked about was the story of the serpent. That was the first story that I talked about, the story of the serpent. And how in religious texts, they've made you afraid of snakes, not realizing that snakes are actually one of the greatest symbolism for wisdom. And that goes all the way back to Egypt. I just gotta flex on y'all a little bit of information so y'all know what's in the mystery school. So in Egypt, in order to become a pharaoh, you had to go through a Kundalini awakening. And a lot of times the way that you can tell somebody has awakened within their third eye is your third eye, your pineal gland, actually flickers when that Kundalini energy reaches it. This is why the Uraeus, which is the serpent that they put on the crown, so to get crowned a king, a queen, you had to have that snake. There's a reason why in the religious text, the snake, listen to this. There's a reason why in the religious text, the snake has the forbidden fruit of knowledge. But you want to know what's interesting? A lot of us seek knowledge on the internet. But what do we use to get on the internet? Our Apple computers, our Apple phones, with the bitten Apple. Apple is one of the biggest companies. And it has the forbidden fruit on the back of it. Y'all join my mystery school. I told y'all, that was me giving y'all a little taste. That was in my class last night, my online live class. That was in my live class last night. If you like that feeling, a lot of y'all feeling y'all brain expanding. If you like that feeling of your brain expanding, click the link in my bio and join my mystery school, because this is what I offer. This is what I offer. And guess what? You can use the coupon code B28. You can use the coupon code B28 to get a percentage off. The link is in my bio. Click Mystery School. All right? I'm telling you, y'all can't lie. That was some deep. That was deep. That was deep. Right? You have to understand that they don't want you. They say, I can't find it. All right, look. Go to link in my bio. Click Mystery School. Mystery School. Click the link in my bio. Click Mystery School. All right? It's an online university, and this is what I teach. I'm going to go on my notebook, and I'm going to teach y'all something else. All right, here's something else I'm going to teach y'all, okay? Here's something else I'm going to teach y'all, all right? Yes, TikTok bio, okay? A lot of y'all don't understand that your body holds on to trauma. Your body holds on to trauma. Now you may say, what do you mean by that? Why do you think when people go to the chiropractor, when they crack certain parts of their body, the first thing that they do is cry? Because your body holds trauma. right? So look, a lot of us, even too, and this goes back to the serpent wisdom. Remember, your spine looks like a snake. This is why we talk about your kundalini energy, right? When you find yourself overly tired, check in with your spine. A lot of y'all are having back problems in your lower back. Y'all feeling pain right there in that lower back, right above your butt. And a lot of times it's because your spine is holding on to blockages. All the trauma you have experienced have manifested themselves in the brain, the spine, and the body, creating blockages. When your spine is in misalignment, energy cannot flow properly. Organs will then start to sing out of harmony. What does harmony mean? Let's look at the definition of harmony. Let's look at the definition of harmony. And harmony, to be in harmony, is to be, it says, an orderly or pleasing combination of elements in a whole. So if you are not in harmony, it's because there are parts of your body that are not in order. She said guasha's had the same effect. Hold on, because that's the thing that I wanted to talk to y'all about. They mentioned guashas. Hold on now, because y'all talking my language. Let me tell y'all something. Let me teach y'all something, all right? And we're going to break this down, okay? You have to, you see, everybody wants to tell you, let's talk about this real quick. Everybody wants to tell you, oh, you don't need tools. You don't need tools. You don't need tools to meditate. You don't need tools to meditate. You don't need tools to manifest. You don't need tools. Why in the world would I come on a physical plane and not use the elements that I was given? I thought y'all said y'all wanted to be alchemists. To be an alchemist is to use the elements that you were given. How you gonna play Minecraft but not break down the trees to build up a house? So y'all not even understand that this physical realm is Minecraft. So you have to use your physical elements to your benefit, right? When you want to get grounded, what do? You go in the grass. That's you using your physical elements. That's you using your physical elements. Why would you want to make your job harder? Why would you want to make your job harder? Now, somebody just mentioned guashas. Now, a lot of people always ask me, Sticks, your skin is so clear. What do you use? I use Dermalogica. Dermalogica is one of my skincare. But another thing, too, is you got to understand that when your body is in harmony, when your diet is correct, when you're being active, when you're meditating, when you're working out, when you're having fun, when you're doing the spiritual work, what happens is that your body starts to go into harmony. What if I don't have the necessary tools? Then you use yourself to continue to manifest more tools. Remember, you can attract. Remember, you never have to be in lack. Lack is an illusion, y'all. That's another thing. They always try to make you feel like there's not enough to go around. That is an illusion. That is